Are you ready for a war?
Mel Gibson is a brilliant Hollywood actor, screenwriter, director, and producer. The blue-eyed genius heartbreaker won 2 Oscars and the Golden Globe Award as Best Director. He is the father of many children, a philanthropist, and a millionaire. But at the same time, Mr. Gibson is known for his wild debauchery and many scandals. He was also a favorite actor of the late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il. How Mel Gibson lives and what happened to him. Mel Gerard Gibson was born on January 3, 1956 in suburban New York. He was the 6th child in his Irish Catholic family. The boy was named after Saint Mel and Saint Columcille, who is venerated as one of the 12 disciples in Ireland. His parents, Patricia and Hatton Gibson, were ordinary, deeply religious people. They saw the meaning of life in their children, thus the family turned out to be quite large. They had 11 children in total. It seems that the great future of Mel was genetically determined because his paternal grandmother was an Australian opera star and his grandfather was a millionaire. He owned a successful tobacco business in the American South. The second ingredient in the formula of success was his parents' boundless love and care. They did everything they could to support the children. However, the family couldn't be called well off. The father was a conductor on the New York Central Railroad, where he sustained occupational injury. Having a high IQ and iron will, Hutton sued his former employer and got a substantial compensation of $145,000. Moreover, his sharp mind allowed him to win $21,000 in an international game show, and this money was very useful when the USA was about to enter a large-scale war conflict in Vietnam. The head of the family didn't want to risk the lives of their children, who would be eligible to be drafted for service to fight in a war, and he decided to move his family to Australia. Mel successfully graduated high school and got a parallel religious education, dreaming to become a journalist. But his sister helped him a lot to choose his future vocation. She knew that her brother was very artistic and liked to prank people, so she applied to Sydney National Institute of Dramatic Art on his behalf. Gibson himself was not very eager to go there. The day before the audition, he got very drunk and had a fight, and because of that, he didn't look very well. Fortunately, the commission liked this rough look, and he started his studies, living with his friends in Sydney. Among these friends was future Oscar winner Geoffrey Rush. While still a student, Mel appeared in his first movie, Summer City. This way, he earned only $400. Right after graduation, he started to receive offers for roles in movies, as well as an invitation to join the National Theatre Company. His first steps in this field brought him success. Almost simultaneously, 2 movies hit the theaters: critically acclaimed movie Tim and a cult dystopian movie Mad Max, directed by George Miller.
It'll take you 10 minutes to hack through it with this. Now, if you're lucky, you can hack through your ankle in 5 minutes. Go.
The Grim Road movie brought fame to the aspiring actor, and he earned 15,000 Australian dollars for that role, and eventually, Mad Max turned out to be the most successful Australian movie, grossing over $100 million worldwide. At first, the young actor didn't expect to get the lead role because he showed up to the audition after another fight. His face was swollen because of the bruises and abrasions. That's why he was advised to come back a few weeks later to try to get a role as one of the bandits. After getting himself together, Mel came back to the audition, and they offered him to try out the role of Max. No one realized that this handsome young man was there before, hungover and beaten. Fate gave Mel one gift after another, and this time he got lucky in his personal life. He met a charming dentist's assistant, Robin Moore. The couple met in Adelaide. The actor came there touring with the theater, but there's also an alternative version, according to which they met with the help of a dating agency. Perhaps he had to use the services of the professional matchmakers because as a young man, Gibson suffered from an inferiority complex. He had a lot of fleeting relationships, he fought a lot, he drank a lot, and he got in all kinds of trouble. After another fight, Mel was on the verge of death, and that was the reason for him to turn his life around. In 1980, Mel and Robin got married. The marriage was very solid. It lasted for almost 30 years. They had 7 children, 5 sons, and 2 daughters. Getting a reliable refuge in his wife, Gibson proceeded to conquer the screens. In 1981, he starred in Miller's Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior.
2 days ago, I saw a vehicle that had hauled that tanker. You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
The movie was received well by the audience and praised by the critics. It was mentioned as one of the best movies of that year. Mel earned $120,000 for the shooting. At the same time, he appeared in several successful movies. A war drama Gallipoli about the hardships of the First World War, for which Gibson earned 35,000 Australian dollars, and Attack Force Z, an action film about the Second World War, which brought the actor 1,000 Australian dollars. And a romantic drama film called The Year of Living Dangerously, in which he starred with Sigourney Weaver. In the next couple of years, Gibson rocked Hollywood like a hurricane. He starred in one top-notch film after another. In 1984, an adventure drama, The Bounty, came out. Then the actor starred in the drama film called The River, which he got nominated for several Oscars, and a drama film called Mrs. Soffel. The popularity of the actor brought him a $1 million contract with a Japanese brewery called Asahi. According to the contract, the actor was obligated to regularly appear in public with a beer can. Gibson was thoroughly fulfilling the obligation, drinking around 8 cans of beer a day in a row, and when advised to replace beer with tea or water, he refused. Probably that contract backfired at Gibson because during this time he lost his driver's license for 3 months and got a $400 fine for drunk driving. In 1985, the third Mad Max movie was released. This was the last time Gibson played that role. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome was spectacular and action-packed, and Mel got 1.2 million Australian dollars for the role.
1 hour.
If you find him, what then?
I'll ask him to return what's mine.
Oh, and of course he'll be desperate to clear his conscience.
He will be.
You that good?
Mm-hmm.
He finally established his presence on the Hollywood Olympus by playing the lead role in the cult classic action movie Lethal Weapon in 1987.
$100,000. $100,000. Did you hear what he said?
100,000? I'm sorry, I can't afford that. Not on my salary.
The movie brought its creators a bunch of awards, including an Academy Award nomination for Best Sound Mixing. Martin Riggs, masterfully created by Mel, is one of the best cinema characters according to Empire magazine. They filmed an alternative beginning depicting the main character as a less likable person, as well as the ending. They weren't included in the DVD release. The success of the first film prompted the producers to make a sequel, and between the 2 parts of the franchise, Gibson starred in a crime film, Tequila Sunrise. After the end of the filming of Lethal Weapon 2 in 1989, it became clear that it's not commercially reasonable to kill this character, and the original script was rewritten to allow another sequel to be made. There are 4 movies in the franchise in total.
And Riggs, one more thing.
What?
You know what that says?
Yeah. Same thing as that, but I don't give a...
Mel had to refuse the role of Batman to be able to star in the sequel. However, the magnificent performance in the first film gave Gibson the opportunity to fulfill the dream of any actor to play Hamlet in the film adaptation of Shakespeare's tragedy. The scene of Riggs' suicide attempt left director Franco Zeffirelli speechless, and he wanted only Mel to play the lead role. None of the major film companies wanted to fund the adaptation, so Gibson had to create his own company to begin the filming. This is how Icon Production was created. It introduced more than 20 movies. As a logo, Mel Gibson used a fragment of the Virgin of Vladimir icon. This made Mel Gibson very busy in the 90s. He starred in Bird on a Wire, Forever Young, and the action movie Air America. He got paid $7 million for the latter. In 1992, the fans saw the next movie about Martin Riggs. The third Lethal Weapon was a massive box office success and made Gibson richer by $10 million. Then, the American Western comedy Maverick thundered at the box offices, and Mel received even more money for it, $15 million.
I might have said a gut was cheap, but never a coward.
Cheap!
Never call a man a coward. I was teasing. Teasing!
Oh. I don't like being teased.
Besides, the ambitious Australian man tried his hand at directing. He filmed his first movie and played the lead role in it, The Man Without a Face. Despite the hopes, was not successful, which can't be said about Gibson's next movie. The epic historical war drama about Scotland's struggle for freedom, Braveheart, blew up the screen.
You tell your king that William Wallace will not be ruled, and nor will any Scot while I live.
The proof of the appreciation were 10 Oscar nominations. The movie won 5 of them, including one to Mel Gibson himself for Best Director. He also won a Golden Globe for Best Director. The story of the film creation is full of fun facts. For example, Mel's character is only 20 years old according to the script, and the actor himself was 38 at the time of the filming. Initially, the movie was supposed to be much more gruesome, but they cut out controversial scenes from the film to lower the age rating. The animal rights activists had some issues with the movie because they didn't believe that no horses was harmed during the filming. Gibson managed to get out of the scandal. He proved that some horses were mechanical. In 2000, in a special auction, the sword that was used by Gibson during the filming was sold for $170,000. In 1995, Mel tried his hand at animation. He took part in voice acting in 2 projects, Casper and Pocahontas. Right after that, Gibson starred in 2 thriller movies for which he got $20 million, Ransom and Conspiracy Theory. In 1998, Lethal Weapon 4 was released. Mel broke his personal record again and got $25 million for the role. Moreover, he signed a profitable advertising contract with a Japanese company, Subaru, and appears in the commercial driving a right-hand drive Legacy sedan through Stockholm and New York. By the way, Mel himself chose another Japanese car. He's driving a modest sedan Toyota Cressida. At the turn of the century, the fans saw Mel in another action movie called Payback and in The $1 Million Hotel. He also voiced a character in Chicken Run. The historical drama, The Patriot, was praised by the audience, for which Gibson got $25 million.
I understood you to be a patriot.
If you mean by patriot, am I angry about taxation without representation? Well, yes, I am.
It's peculiar that Mel asked to make several changes to the script. They added another child to the 6 children the character had because at that moment, Mel himself had 7 children. The movie, What Women Want, holds a special place in Mel's career.
Do you ever consider dating a woman who wears real underwear? You know, the kind that covers the entire bottom the way it's supposed to.
No, but if I ever do, should I give you a call?
A hoax and prank enthusiast, he brilliantly played the role of a charming ladies' man who gained the ability to hear women's thoughts after being electrocuted. The comedy film was a smashing hit, getting over $374 million in the worldwide box office. It was ranked 4th among the most successful movies of 2000. At the same time, Mel got into a huge-scale pharmaceutical war waged by the United States Department of Health and Human Services. It was trying to restrict the consumption of vitamins by the Americans. As a protest, Gibson appeared in a video in which his home is raided by a SWAT team. The actor, wearing a bathrobe and holding a vitamin C container, says to the SWAT team, "It's just vitamins." Since the early aughts, Gibson has not been that active as an actor. He appeared in such films as Signs and We Were Soldiers, which brought him $50 million in total, a musical crime comedy, The Singing Detective, and the TV series Complete Savages. Mel spent more and more energy and resources on his own projects, mostly as a director. His 2004 epic biblical drama film, The Passion of the Christ, was a really huge event. The movie shocked the public, depicting the last 12 hours of the life of Jesus Christ. The dialogues in this movie were written in reconstructed Aramaic, ancient Hebrew, and Latin. Gibson, after the release of the movie, proclaimed that the Holy Spirit was the real creator of the film and he was just a vehicle. He even donated $100 million to the Catholic Church. The filming process was very difficult. The lead actor was constantly injured, including a lightning strike. To make it more authentic, they decided to avoid using CGI. The job was done exclusively by makeup artists who spent 10 hours on it. Moreover, the actor who played Jesus received real lashes and carried a real wooden cross weighing 154 pounds. Thanks to this selfless and rigorous approach, the movie turned out to be grand. The whole society was shocked, including Pope John Paul II, who praised the movie, and Gibson's daughter Hannah was so impressed that she even expressed a desire to take the veil and become a nun. The phenomenal box office receipts of the movie was no surprise. It earned $609 million worldwide. Because of that, it is still in the top 10 of the highest grossing R-rated movies. After the filming, Mel decided to buy the lush green Mago Island in Fiji archipelago measuring 8 square miles for $15 million. He said he plans on preserving the island's original condition for recreation, and he remains true to his words. The satellite images show only dirt airstrip, Mel Gibson's mansion in the northern part of the island, and houses of locals who are paid by the actor. The next large-scale project of the Icon Company was the mystical movie Apocalypto, based on the historical myths and legends of the Maya tribe. Gibson was the producer, the director, and the screenwriter of the movie. Same as in the previous movie, Mel tried to make it as authentic as possible and didn't trust CGI to do the job. It was filmed mostly in the Mexican state of Veracruz, and they reconstructed step pyramids very close to the original. In the movie, Mayans are depicted as very cruel people, which was criticized by many historians, and representatives of one of the ethnic communities filed a report to the Human Rights Commission of the Yucatan state. At the same time, there was a huge scandal when Mel was arrested for drunk driving again. This time, the movie star acted really inappropriately, shouting anti-Semitic slogans and racial slurs. This stunt almost ruined Gibson's reputation, but he got away with it. He publicly apologized, speaking about lapses in judgment he's having from time to time. After this incident, Gibson retreated into the shadows for 10 years and didn't film any movies. Craving for solitude, in 2007, Mel bought a mansion with a plot of land of 400 acres on the Costa Rica coast. He's been thinking about buying a piece of this picturesque land when he was searching for a location for the Apocalypto shooting. He bought it for $26 million. This ranch consists of a villa surrounded by tropical forest and a cute backyard. The home features several classic colonial-style bedrooms, wood-dominated dining rooms, and an on-site pool. Later, Mel tried to sell the house for $35 million. After all, Mel Gibson is not just a great actor, but a good businessman as well. He knows how to sell. In 2007, he sold another mansion in the Tudor style in Connecticut for $40 million, which he bought in 1994 for $9 million. This 15-bedroom castle-like mansion is surrounded by a stunningly beautiful garden, and the interiors of the living room with fireplace, library, and dining room are strikingly rich and charmingly old-fashioned. This break from the film industry and property purchase can be explained by the problems in his personal life. In the spring of 2009, there were rumors that Mel's solid family split up. Allegedly, the spouses had not been living together for 3 years. Soon, Gibson showed up to the premiere of X-Men Origins Wolverine with a Russian pianist and singer Oksana Grigorieva. She met Gibson during the filming of one of the movies, and pretty soon, the smitten actor became the producer of her album. There is a theory that the meeting was not an accident, but was organized by a known in certain circles matchmaker, Peter Listerman. However, this information is not confirmed at all. After the joint appearance in the news about Oksana being 4 months pregnant, Robin filed for divorce and got half of the net worth of the adulterer, $850 million. Besides that, Mel has to pay half of his income to his ex-wife, and later she got 2 Malibu mansions worth a total of $22.5 million. Actually, the breakup fee of the Gibsons is considered to be one of the largest in the history of Hollywood. In October 2009, Mel and Oksana had a daughter, who became the 8th child of the actor. The new family with newborn Lucienne lived in a $11.5 million mansion situated in Malibu. Mel bought the house from his friend, David Duchovny, but the family life didn't work out, and after 18 months, the couple split up, and a few months later, Grigorieva filed a police report stating that she was physically abused by Gibson. They have opened a criminal case against Mel, and he received 3 years suspended sentence, a $400 fine, and a restraining order prohibiting him from seeing their mutual daughter. Also, the court ordered him to pay his common-law spouse a $750,000 compensation and pay $40,000 each month until the child reaches the age of 18. Also, Oksana got a mansion in Sherman Oaks, which Gibson bought in 2009 for $2.4 million. The court ordered Mel to pay maintenance costs as well, but the woman wanted more, so she posted on social media a recorded phone call between her and Mel, during which he used racial slurs. This almost cost the actor his career and reputation. Many people turned against him, but not Jodie Foster, Robert Downey Jr., Robert Rodriguez, and Sylvester Stallone. They helped out the actor. Thanks to Rodriguez and Stallone, he managed to appear in such movies as Machete Kills, where he played a villain for the first time, and The Expendables 3.
He thinks I'm joking. I'm not joking. You should see me when I'm angry. You'd be very impressed. Then very dead.
As a result of the loud scandal, the filming of the action movie Get the Gringo was delayed, and the premiere of the eccentric drama The Beaver was cancelled. It was planned to premiere in December 2010, considering the Oscar nominations, but it was released only in May 2011. The premiere was a flop. The movie failed at the box office. To top it all off, in 2010, the actor got into a car accident. He crashed his Maserati car against a rock cliff on one of the Malibu roads. Fortunately, Gibson was not harmed, which can't be said about the car. It had to be towed. It was completely totaled. After this point, the actor decided to drive a convenient electric smart car. He's been driving it for many years already. Mel tried to forget about the previous relationship, and in 2012, it was reported that he's dating athlete Ashley Cusato, but it didn't last very long. The next period of Mel's life can be considered a reset. He was completely inactive both in professional and personal life. Only in 2016, Gibson renewed his activity. He appeared in the action film Bloodfather and then directed Hacksaw Ridge, which brought him an Oscar nomination as Best Actor. Also, it was reported that his new girlfriend, Rosalind Ross, is pregnant with the actor's 9th child. On January 20, 2017, the couple had a baby. They named him Lars Gerard. Thus, Mel has the second place in the top of actors with the largest number of kids. Only Charlie Chaplin had more kids than Mel. He had 11. But something tells us that Gibson may beat this record. In the last couple of years, Gibson appeared as an actor in such movies as Dragged Across Concrete, Boss Level, Force of Nature, Dangerous, and Daddy's Home 2.
Why does a duck have feathers?
Why?
To cover up his butt quack.
Hey, kids, I got a good one for you. 2 dead hookers wash up on the shore.
Hey, whoa, shut up.
The most peculiar film he starred in recently is probably The Professor and the Madman, 2018. This movie was in production for 17 years. The filming process was full of scandals and lawsuits, so the production company Voltage Pictures banned the crew from filming in Oxford, England. The reason given was budget overruns and lack of time, and as a result, the filming was moved to Ireland. Enraged, Gibson couldn't let the company cripple his film this way, and he tried to ban the release of the film through the court, but he failed. In revenge, he decided not to participate in the advertising campaign. In 2020, there was a premiere of a comedy action film, Batman, with Mel Gibson in the lead role.
Remember when my bacon went through the vegan sugar-free phase?
Yeah. I was lucky to survive it. Must have lost 12 pounds.
In 2021, Gibson appeared in the action films Agent Game, Dangerous, and Last Looks. And the following year, audiences could see the actor in Father Stu, On the Line, Hot Seat, Panama, and Bandit. After all the lawsuits and alimony, Mel Gibson's net worth is now $425 million. Despite the fact that according to some open source estimates, Mel received a record sum of $450 million for The Passion of the Christ and invested only $30 million of his personal money. According to the most recent accounts, Mel is not sitting idle. Gibson is gonna be the director of Lethal Weapon 5. Besides, he will play the lead role in the Continental miniseries, which is about to be released. The most intriguing is the rumor that the actor is working on the sequel of his epic film about the life and death of Jesus Christ called The Passion of the Christ Resurrection, where Gibson will act as director, screenwriter, and producer. We tried our best to tell you all about the life of this brilliant actor, talented director, and unique person, Mel Gibson. Do you think he'll manage to surprise the world with a new masterpiece as he did with Braveheart and The Passion of the Christ?
Bolo Yeung, where is the Chinese Hercules now? Yang Si, better known as Bolo Yeung, was born on July 3, 1946, in the Chinese city of Guangzhou, into a family of a local entrepreneur and housewife. At the age of 4, the boy became interested in Kung Fu, and at the age of 10, he began to study martial arts with local masters. He also attended acrobatics training and became interested in weightlifting. He successfully combined martial arts with power loads, which allowed him to become the Chinese champion in powerlifting. Contrary to popular belief, Bolo wasn't a Shotokan karate champion and never practiced this kind of martial arts. In the mid-60s, the young man fled from communist China to Hong Kong. More precisely, he swam there. It was one of the few escape routes with the least likelihood of meeting the border patrol. In Hong Kong, Yang Si became a coach and opened his own bodybuilding school. Soon he came to the attention of an agent of the largest Hong Kong film company, Shaw Brothers Studio, who invited him to star in a movie. In 1970, the 23-year-old athlete made his motion picture debut in The Wandering Swordsman. in a supporting role and won the Mr. Hong Kong title in the bodybuilding tournament, which he continued to confirm for 9 consecutive years. After playing brutal villains in 14 more films, including the action movie 5 Fingers of Death, the aspiring actor decided to leave the studio. The turning point in Yang Si's career was meeting Bruce Lee. At the time, Bruce was filming the movie Path of the Dragon, which was sponsored by Winston Cigarette Company. In cinemas, before the screening, it was planned to launch a short masterclass from Bruce Lee and a cigarette advertisement in which Yang Si was invited to star. A friendship struck up between them, and in 1973, Bruce invited his friend to play a bodyguard of his main on-screen opponent in the movie Enter the Dragon. It was in this film that Yang Si played a character named Bolo, which he later chose for his stage name. In this movie, Bolo Yeung didn't fight Bruce Lee. He promised to put up a fight in the next film, which was to be Game of Death, but Bruce Lee died 6 days before the premiere of Enter the Dragon. The release of the action movie Chinese Hercules followed.
Well, in that case, what do we do with them? We kill them. And dump them.
Even though Bolo didn't play the main role in it, the nickname Chinese Hercules got firmly entrenched for him, like another nickname, the Beast from the East. Working with the legendary Bruce Lee made it easier for Bolo to get roles in movies, but his friend's death had closed his way to American cinema for many years. Left unsupported, he continued to play villains in local action films such as the 1974 The Young Dragons and the 2 parts of Bruce and Shaolin Kung Fu. We know nothing about the actor's wife, but their eldest son David was born on July 3, 1974, and he followed in his father's footsteps. From childhood, he practiced martial arts, and at the age of 14, together with Bolo, he appeared on the stage of a bodybuilding tournament for the first time. In addition, he starred in several films and is now engaged in coaching. Later, the couple had a daughter called Deborah, who was practicing bodybuilding under guidance of the older brother, and the younger son Danny, who also linked his life with sports and practices Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In 1978, Bruce Lee's picture Game of Death was completed with the use of stunt doubles and was released in cinemas. Bolo Yeung also appeared in it. The actor also tried his hand at directing. In 1979, the comedy thriller Bolo and the film Wendo were released. Among the actor's subsequent works are the action movie The Ninja Strikes Back, the horror movie The Boxer's Omen, the action comedies Millionaire's Express, Lucky Stars Go Places, Where's Officer Tuba, and My Lucky Stars. In 1986, Bolo worked with Bruce Lee's son Brandon on the set of Legacy of Rage.
I've been fighting in the streets for 10 years. No one's ever laid a hand on me.
He not only played the main character's antagonist, but also prepared Brandon for fights. Yeung would book the gym for 9 a.m., but Lee only would show up at noon. Lee was reluctant to exercise. He only did it because the producers asked him to. While acting in movies, Bolo Yeung repeatedly became the champion of Southeast Asia in Kempo from the late 70s to the late 80s. Even in the 90s, he still successfully participated in competitions. Bolo Yeung became world famous by the action movie Bloodsport, released in 1988, in which he played the main villain named Chang Li.
Very good. But brick, not hit back.
On the set, he met the actor Jean-Claude Van Damme, who had always been a fan of Bolo. Although critics gave the film negative reviews, the audience received it well, and the career of the 42-year-old actor got a second wind. Bloodsport gave the actor access to the roles of the main negative characters in action films Blood Fight, Breathing Fire, Tiger Claws, Fearless Tiger, and Ironheart. In 1991, Van Damme invited Yeung to play his rival in the film Double Impact, offering a fee of $25,000.
Where are the twins?
Fuck you.
Stop! They've gone. They've left the island.
She lies.
20 years later, Jean-Claude's son surprised his father by inviting Bolo to dinner, and they gladly revisited the times when they worked on the set together 15 hours a day. Bolo constantly mentions in interviews that the role of a villain entrenched in him doesn't embarrass him. Nevertheless, there are several roles of good guys in the actor's filmography. In 1993, he played in the fantastic action movie TC-2000, and also appeared as Master Shingo in the films Shoot Fighter, Fight to the Death, released in 1993, and Shoot Fighter 2, 1996.
You
want to press charges, we'll meet you in court. Now, get out.
Relax.
Also in 1996, Yeung starred in another action movie, Tiger Claws 2, after which he had a career break. In 2006, Yahoo conducted a survey asking users who is the best actor in kung fu films, and Bolo took second place right after Bruce Lee. In 2007, he was invited to star in The Ultimate Fighter, co-produced by the United States and Kazakhstan. Due to legal issues, the film never made it to the cinemas. It was limited to screenings at several festivals until it went online more than 4 years later. In 2008, Bolo officially announced that he was leaving his work in the cinema, but after that, he nevertheless starred in 2 more films made in Kazakhstan. In 2011, Bolo Yeung came to Russia at the invitation of a fitness club. He had visited Moscow earlier in the 90s and announced work on a joint picture, but the project was never implemented. Bolo also appeared in an episode of the documentary project Jean-Claude Van Damme Behind Closed Doors. It is worth noting that Yeung has also appeared in several documentaries about Bruce Lee. In 2016, the actor played a cameo role in Diamond Cartel and appeared in the action-adventure movie The Whole World at Our Feet a year earlier. Bolo is currently the chairman of the Hong Kong Gym Business Association and the team manager of the Tapai International Bodybuilder Squad. He also conducts master classes, celebrity stakeouts, and autograph sessions. He begins every morning with a 2-hour workout, doesn't smoke or drink alcohol. The fortune of 74-year-old Bolo Yeung is estimated at $1.5 million and mainly accounts for real estate. Since 2018, the actor has been living in Monterey Park, California, in a 2-story house with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. On the ground floor, there is a dining room with an elegant chandelier and a large open kitchen with a dining area leading to a living room with a fireplace. There are 3 more bedrooms on the 2nd floor, and there is a seating area in the backyard with a gazebo and a fountain. The garage has space for 4 cars, but only one of Bolo's cars is known to the public. It's the $49,000 Audi A3 convertible. Amiable in common life, Bolo Yeung always knew how to bring the feeling of a real threat on the other side of the screen. He tried to make people see martial arts as something more than just a circus, and once said that a real professional should make one move which will be watched breathlessly. What is your favorite movie with Bolo Yeung? If you like the video, leave a like and also subscribe to the channel so as not to miss anything interesting.